Israel will stand firm against the world if necessary, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said, threatening Hamas. As the conflict with Hamas continues to escalate, pressure on Benjamin Netanyahu from a number of world superpowers has grown. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has pushed back against international pressure to slow down or even stop the war against Hamas, saying Israel will stand firm against the world if necessary to defeat Hamas. Defense Minister Yoav Gallant and Minister Benny Gantz, along with the Israeli Prime Minister, have rejected growing international criticism and called on Western leaders to back Israel in its fight against Hamas. At a press conference, he pleaded with the international community to back his demand for the destruction of Hamas and his opposition to a ceasefire in Gaza. "Don't give in to the peer pressure," he warned. "Our war is your war. Israel has to win for its own sake and for the world." The Israeli Prime Minister continued by saying that, no international pressure, no false allegations about IDF soldiers and our state, will change Israel's resolve to defend itself. Netanyahu said Israel will stand firm against the world if necessary, to retaliate for recent international criticism. These remarks followed recent expressions of concern from a number of countries regarding the deteriorating humanitarian situation and civilian casualties in the Gaza Strip. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said on Friday that far too many Palestinians have been killed, and urged more action to be taken to protect civilians in Gaza and ensure humanitarian aid reaches them. At the press conference, Netanyahu also responded to comments made by French President Emmanuel Macron, who had said there was no justification for bombing in Gaza and that a ceasefire would be in Israel's best interest. The Israeli Prime Minister responded to these statements by saying, he made a serious mistake, factually and morally. Hamas, not Israel, is blocking the evacuation of civilians. He stated that the humanitarian corridor established for the people of northern Gaza to evacuate has been fired on by Hamas, not Israel, and that the terrorist group is using the civilians as human shields. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu made the following statement: "It is not Israel that locates itself in hospitals, schools, UNRWA, and facilities. Therefore, it is not Israel that is to blame for civilian casualties, but Hamas. I also assure the President of France and our other allies that it will eventually make its way to them. Terrorists committing this double war crime should not be granted immunity. While we make every effort to protect civilians and bystanders, we cannot let Hamas kill our people without retaliating. The moralizing is unnecessary." Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that the military will stay in Gaza, as long as necessary, to prevent the territory from being used as a springboard for terror attacks against Israel. According to him, Hamas will be demilitarized. There will be no further threat from the Gaza Strip on Israel, and to ensure that, for all long as necessary, IDF will control Gaza security to prevent terror from there.